Hello, good morning. I'm Valerie Milano, the senior editor of the Hollywood Times and Aspiring Magazine. I'm here in Palm Springs, California, and I'm going to have our guests introduce themselves. Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, my name is Luca Zanna, and we are here in Sedona.
My name is Claudette Lyons.
Yes, and as I said today, we're speaking with Luca and Dr. Claudette Lyons. They're the musical duo behind the international hit "You Are My Destiny." Their story is extraordinary, beginning with a dream in Rome decades ago and unfolding into a Billboard charting song heard in more than 39 countries. It's a story of music, destiny, and a prediction from a legendary music executive that ultimately came true. Um, Gianluca, the your story actually begins decades ago in a boarding school in Rome, where you say you dreamed about the woman who would eventually become Claudette. Can you tell us about that dream and how it stayed with you all those years?
Well, when I was about 10, I left home and I went to boarding school in Rome. And I used to sleep in places like a dormitory. Imagine a bunch of wild kids and sleeping on top of each other, on bunk beds, stuff like that. And I was lucky enough that my bed was next to the window. So at night, especially when there was a full moon, I was able to dream a little bit and fantasize to be in a different place because I wasn't exactly very happy there. The first year was not enough time to dream. I was always pretty much on alert because it wasn't exactly a fun place to be there, especially at night. Kids, beating each other, pranking each other. But the second year, I started to get more, accredited, and I finally started to dream. And so the story was that I was already envisioning to get out of there. I don't know exactly when, but eventually I was going to leave the place. And also I was envisioning to Italy. I never felt really my place in a way. And even I didn't know English, I was ready to start to write my first music, my first songs, my first poems at the time. And I already my vision kind of clear when I was already between 11 and 12. And one night I had really this sort of a dream, and I was looking at being living in America, and I was doing the things I wanted to do. And even I was very young, I was always dreaming to have a partner that would be the partner of my life. I didn't really see yet the person in the dream, but I know he was there. She was there, and that was something kept with me that dream for many many years. And here I am.
Yes, yes, I love it. So you have, like you're talking about, you eventually met in Sedona. I believe it was 2023, right?
Yes, we met technically, physically in Sedona, but first time we met on the cyber world, through the internet.
Okay, yes, I saw that particular project that you did, and I'll talk about that in my story. So the moment, what was it like for you each when you realized that this connection was something truly special?
Sure, sure. Well, the first time we had scheduled to have a little Zoom meeting, and we were going to chat about my managing his Arizona Krav Maga, as I've done management for decades. And I was very interested in learning more about it, of course, but I really wanted to know more about self defense because I went through a very violent attack in my life. It almost took my life in 2017. And I had been working so hard on healing, but I knew that I was being sent like something, honestly, like self defense would be really important for me to get through the other side of what I had witnessed. So as I was watching and listening and talking to him on this video call, it lasted who knows how long, maybe a half an hour. The first thing I did when I closed the screen, I said, wow, I was not expecting that because it was like something about probably likely more. It could be his eyes, sure, it could be everything wonderful we talked about, but it was really kind of an aura or a remembering of something that was very special.
Yeah. Wow. So, the song itself, "You Are My Destiny," feels almost like the soundtrack to that story. How did "You Are My Destiny" come together creatively once the two of you began collaborating?
The idea of the song, believe it or not, was inspired exactly from that time that I was in that boarding school dreaming.
Yeah,
And you see in the music video that we have a couple version, but the remix that now has about 3.7 million or whatever, you can see there is a child sleeping, dreaming. And so it's kind of the story that was originated the seed of the song. I kept with me that idea for many years. That's why I also came to America. And then the last few years, it evolved in complete lyrics that I did. And I did, of course, also the what we call I did the song itself. It was kind of a demo, years ago that I had in my hard drive for about probably a few years before we met. And then when I met her, I said, you know what? This, I think, is the song that we need to do together. And the song was completely re-recorded and then became our song.
sweet. Yeah, and Claudette, I want to know, you bring a unique musical background as both a vocalist and electric violinist with Irish musical influences. How did your style shape the emotional feel of the track?
Well, I believe probably what music has been for me for my entire journey has been an emotional
Yeah.
shakeup. I lost my parents very, very early in my life, unexpectedly, and it hit me very, very hard. My mom, she died, and then, like, barely 1 year later, my father did. And I was not prepared for that kind of emotional turmoil, and I turned to music. And so I want to say that during this journey, there's just been this kind of healing yet expressive nature to how music touches my soul. And then, of course, being so grateful to meet Luca, his help, his protection, his provision, and our, ability to unite the way we have. It just kind of had its own soul, of like him and me, and then kind of this third energy that probably was always supposed to be here.
Yeah, I mean, the power of independent music is amazing. You achieved Billboard recognition and global radio play without the backing of a major label. What does that say about the power of independent artists?
It's first of all, it all starts with the song because if you don't have a good song, there is no way you can, yeah, you can market it, you can do it, but doesn't mean that people are gonna like it. You can force anybody to do anything, and of course, that's the way it should be. But the idea was the determination. When I started the last year, we started the journey together about okay, we got to put this song out to the world because mostly I used to be a songwriter, and but since I met Claudia, also we became like a live project, a performing project, and also start to operate like a label. It means that we don't just write the songs, but we need to produce them and also market them. So that part was kind of something that I wanted to explore. I had the opportunity, as I said, to reconnect with this gentleman, Mr. Kleis Cornelius, that I met exactly in 1995 during my Italian journey. When I was in the music industry, I was a music publisher of a music magazine for music trade and business. And that was a very short meeting, it was an hour, but was very important because he gave me the inspiration to leave Italy 1.5 years, almost 2 years later, and to pursue my dream I wanted to do. That was kind of a very important in my destiny part too. Listening to his story, how they started they started the label, Mega Records, how they found Ace of Base. That became probably the most famous international hit at the time from an independent label. So the point is coming back to America and having that song that I really truly believe it was a real good song because it's a true story, but also it's a good song. I by destiny, I would like to say, I found Kleis again 30 years later on Facebook, and
Wow.
we became friends. Not only that, we are writing together his book about his life and his all his career, At the same time, he became my kind of like my mentor in the music. And in exactly February of last year, the 20th of February 2025, he wrote me an email because he was going through our songs and say, yes, I tell you which song, in my opinion, you should push, which song needs some help, blah, blah, blah. And he said, You Are My Destiny is going to be the song that you're going to have a lot of feedback, positive feedback. It's going to be a hit, according to him. The point is, I say, Clive, how do I reach the radio? I'm here in the middle of nowhere. I don't have any type of, situation but a computer and a little bit of internet. Say, just do it. And that's what we did. And we started to one by one to start this song to radio station from eight Albania all the way to I don't know Z, whatever country exists with the Z letter, and I was finding an amazing positive feedback, especially because I didn't have behind any major label. The normally, that's the way the big radio, commercial radio work too. So the song started to really go viral on many radio stations, even many commercial radio stations around the world. And then from there was kind of became kind of an effect, like a dynamic effect. We start to receive other great things from other sources, reviews and Rolling Stone UK. We were featured. I mean, we've been on Forbes Scotland. We've been around different media, and of course, Spotify Billboard chart. We were the only artist not backed by any type of major company. And also the most amazing things that I still don't understand. We were number three on Amazon US charts for most sold single in the dance charts. We were on top before Michael Jackson. I mean, big names, David Guetta. That really I have no idea. We stayed like that for about 2 days.
Thank you for that because I found that one of the most fascinating parts of your story was the prediction from the music legend Clive Cornelius months before the song's success. And I'm
Yes.
glad you told me about this reaction that the track had the potential to become this global hit. So the song has now been played, as we're talking about, on radio stations in more than 39 countries. Was there a moment when you realized the song had truly taken on a life of its own internationally? What was that moment?
But the moment I think when I start to see big radios, and normally a commercial radio, like for example in Germany, there is the national radio, public radio that has like 10 million listeners a day, and we were there. When we have, for example, Mood Media, that is the number one distributor of music around the world in commercial stores and retailers, with more than 500,000 retailer store, they picked the song and they put in their distribution. So there were a lot of signs. It wasn't just my idea. It was, of course, Kleist has a lot of, for me, a lot of importance what he says. But at the end of the day, it's our opinions. What we realize at the end is what really the public and more important, the industry receive, like the radio, like the multimedia distribution around the world.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So now, beyond the music, the two of you are collaborating on projects like books and speaking engagements and even this comic series. How does your partnership inspire creativity across so many different platforms?
Mm. Well, I want to say the power of love is much stronger than we probably all may have belief in. And we've reached many, many times and many peaks where, we're living a very real life. And so a lot of the work we do, it means you're really working. It takes a lot of action. It takes a lot of communication. We're telling the story in the book about our true journey from childhood all the way to where we are today with you, and it has so many blessings, but it also has a lot of pain. And I think the reason that a lot of what we're doing relates so well and why we also do the speaking engagements is because we really want to uplift that. How we do this is that we use skills every day to help our mind and our heart be cohesive and aligned, like hypnotherapy and NLP, and different ways that we can honestly achieve goals and dreams and not give up.
Yeah, so now you're writing this book titled You Are My Destiny. What do you hope that the readers will take away from your journey of this faith, music, and perseverance?
Well, first of all, that there is hope to never give up. Because if a little kid from Italy that didn't speak English came here and with no contacts, connection, made it,
Yeah,
everything's possible.
absolutely. It's,
Lovely. And you're also creating a very unique experience this fall in Sedona, where only, what, 10 people will attend a private retreat and concert. What inspired that idea, and what will make it so special for those guests?
okay. Well, I want to just chat about this. I've been so blessed by Sedona in my life personally. And one of the best blessings I want to talk about is the international dark sky and the beautiful, universe that we get to see and connect with. And I've been doing astronomy as a manager of an amazing company here, Sedona Stargazing Tours. And I realized the effect that it has on people, no matter what their faith based, no matter what culture they are, everyone gets under the stars and they go, wow, they see through telescopes. So I knew I wanted to do a retreat for years, and Luca and I talked about it. But as we came together and realized now we do self defense workshops, I'm a yoga teacher. We do hypnotherapy. We do the music. We said, well, wait a minute. It was kind of on the shelf looking at us saying, hey, I've been here all along. Why don't you just start already? And so we finally committed to the process of creating this amazing opportunity where 10 wonderful people will join us and have a 4 day during the fall equinox of wonderful things like stargazing, live music, and some self defense, teaching some situational awareness, some yoga, and some nice relaxation hypnotherapy sessions.
My goodness, y'all never sleep, do you?
But also, beside, of course, everything she said is so important. I think it's a 360-degree experience.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to find different ways to share our music.
Mhm.
For example, we know the industry, it's pretty brutal in a way. Unless you have a bunch of money behind when you're a new artist, it's difficult to go into the gigs, where you are in front of opening big act. It's going to cost you money, time. And the first year, probably you don't make anything. So instead, we change the rules, like I did myself with the radio. Say, instead of going to chasing gigs, let's make people come to us in a way. And that's our first approach. So we are offer an exclusive opportunity, not just to listen to music, but to experience our life, what we like, what we do. And of course, it's a limited number for this one, but we have an opportunity instead for all the people that cannot come, maybe for these 10 exclusive tickets, they can listen and enjoy Sedona, our concert for free because we believe in sponsorship. And we have a new type of concert that we're going to start exactly the next few weeks. It's called live streaming from Sedona, from the top of the most beautiful mountains or wild nature that we have around here. We do a live show streaming through YouTube, free for the people, that they can enjoy completely the experience, not just of the music, but also the place, the nature where we are. It's not a typical concert in a club or in an arena or whatever place you can be normally in a town. It is from nature, and it is broadcast to the world free. And behind we have sponsors that they're gonna benefit from this opportunity to share our music.
What a great thing. I can't wait to be involved more so in your lives. Thank you so much for this interview. So, how can our readers and our viewers find out more about everything that you do? Social media or a website or what?
Website.
Yeah, definitely website. And I think YouTube, we keep up with so
Okay.
much on there as well. It's fun.
If you go to lucaclaudette.com, also you can find there a lot of information about our music video. And then when you find the music video, you can connect to our music official channel for YouTube.
Mhm.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you again for your time. We are aspiringmagazine.com and the Hollywood Times today. Our YouTube is the Hollywood Times official, and I appreciate it so much, all the inspiration and all the teaching you give us, just so much, the music and the love that you share.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Have a great rest of your day.
You as well.
All right. Bye-bye.